So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. You know, it does my heart well to have this time together where we can unplug, unwind, and tap in. Tap in with some random research, some of the news that you can probably use, and some stuff you might just want to use for trivia a little bit later. However, if I read it, I got to tell it to someone, so I might as well tell it to you. One of the things I would love to tell to you is that right now we're highlighting a lot of our nonprofit organizations as well as our community stakeholders, starting with our teachers. Now, 225bulletinboard.com, it is in full effect. Right now, I need your help. Log on to 225bulletinboard.com and nominate a teacher or a support team member that you know goes above and beyond every single day with those students in order to get it done. We would love to recognize them and to gift them $250 each. And on top of that, they'll also receive some space on some of our billboards, just as a token of our appreciation to say thank you. We see you, and we cannot do this without you. Thank you so much to my team with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, with Gordon Gives and Tan Cares. Now, this is an ongoing situation, so make sure that you're submitting today at 225bulletinboard.com. Coming up, we're going to chat about it. You need to make a plan. Early voting is in full stride, and now is the time to let your voice be heard through your vote. So make sure that you're making a plan, you're spreading that plan, and you're taking others with you in the time that we need to do it the most. Get to the polls and let your voices be heard through your vote. You know, today in the hot seat and on the tan line, we're going to chat with some phenomenal rock stars in their own perspectives. We're going to chat with the Pasta Queen. Have you ever heard of the Pasta Queen? Well, she is New York Times best-selling author. She's also a world traveler and a chef. Now, she says that you can close any deal over a great deal of pasta, and I'm here to believe it. Now, once you hear about this story, you're going to see that all of the things are going to add up and make all of the sense in the world. Her new series is available on Amazon Prime, and you don't want to miss it. The Pasta Queen. Now, Nadia Katerina Muna. Hopefully, she'll slide me a couple of those recipes so I can fix my life. Like, give me the inside scoop, Nadia. Tell me how. And we're also going to check in with none other than the host and a man who gives of his life day in and day out to bring closure to families. Now, Lt.Chris McMullin, he is on the scene with Oxygen True Crime. Now, I will watch Oxygen True Crime day in and day out, and getting the story behind the story and the level of inspiration is just next level for me. They're unveiling a new season of Feeling Homicide, and he's going to give us the inside scoop with that. You don't want to miss it. Wow. Now, you know, I'm a stickler for some of this random research, and this is going to play a heavier weight than not. Social media ban times. Oh, is there such a thing? Well, there probably should be. According to Psychology Today, to stay mentally healthy, psychologists suggest that we do not use social media when we're supposed to be paying attention to people that we actually care about. Like our kids, your partners, our families, our friends. Do not use social media right before bed is another tip that Psychology Today is leading with. One study found that blue light from devices actually increases the stress hormone cortisol, making sleep more difficult. Beyond the blue light effect, content that attracts our attention activates our brain, making it harder to fall asleep. And don't use social media while eating, especially if you're trying to do a good diet. So wait a second, I'm not supposed to be scrolling while, yeah, okay. Like when we watch TV, we don't pay attention to what we're nibbling on, and social media has quickly replaced that. So yeah, those are just some tidbits coming in from Psychology Today. I feel so seen. Okay. Okay, well, the Taste of Tange today is being brought to you by none other than a fish solution. Kaiser, they stated that in your expectancy of finding some amount of happiness, you might want to add some fish. Hear me out, we're going somewhere. Here's a solution. If your partner is mad at you, grill some salmon. I mean, I'm always happier when salmon is on the scene, and make enough for two. Eating fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, mackerel, trout, it can actually lower the likelihood of feelings of hostility by about 20%. Who knew? Okay, all right. Food for thought. Well, also adding to that, a healthier note with salmon, tuna, and sea bass. They all contain the omega-3 fatty acids. So outside of getting people to smile more at you, not to be upset with you in the moment, it's actually going to add to some nutritional value to your life. Those unique fats help reduce inflammation and lower your blood pressure, which also calms your nerves. So yeah, I get it now. With everybody being so attached to these devices, you always hear about distracted driving, but have you heard of the term distracted walking? Because yes, it is such a thing. According to Accident Analysis and Prevention, it's a research publication that has been ongoing. We've heard about distracted walking being a bigger problem than we even want to admit. Distracted pedestrians, those using their phones for texting, reading, listening to music, or scrolling the LaTangela Show podcast, shameless plug, they tend to walk slower and stay closer to vehicles compared to people who do not use their phones while walking. They also rarely yield to oncoming traffic and are less likely to change their walking direction, even when dangerously close to cars. So put the phone down and pay attention. It's basically the moral of the story of the day. Yeah. Each and every weekday, inside the midday, I want you to turn me up a little bit as I have the privilege of serving as the voice inside your speaker box with Baton Rouge's official #1 for hip hop and R&B, Max 94.1. Now, there we'll be able to get all of our birthdays, anniversaries, and shout outs just because you want one. But one great thing about the jukebox of music is that music enhances your mood. We always hear that, but how long does it actually take for the music to enhance your mood? I'm glad you asked. According to British Academy of Sound Therapy, we all know that music can actually put us in a good mood, but it takes about 9 minutes for it to do so. So I have to get at least 9 minutes worth of your favorite songs to make you happier. So how about you hit me up with your request right now, and we'll work on that for next week. Hit me up at LaTangela Faye, and I'm gonna put it in the mix just for you. And on top of it, before we go and check in with our wonderful guest, how about putting it on the to-do list of the gratitude attitude? According to JAMA, think about what you're grateful for and start that gratitude journal. Now, according to their random research, people who wrote down the things that they were grateful for at least a few times a week had lower risk of premature death from any cause compared to people who didn't have a gratitude attitude. I read it, felt I had to tell it to someone, and I decided to tell it to you. So you keep it locked right where you have it. If you would like to be a guest, I would love to have you. Drop me a line at LaTangela.com.
Good morning, sunshine. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Excellent. And thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join me today in the hot seat and on the tan line. I know that you are bringing the heat to the screen this season. But, before we even jump into the Philly Homicide and it's premiering on October 26th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, let me tell you, I got my snacks already on deck. Oxygen True Crime.
Yeah.
It all together. But Lieutenant McMullin, how did you know that you wanted to enter into the profession of law to make this something that was going to be your calling?
That goes way back to when I was a little kid. My grandmother had a home down in the Jersey Shore in North Wyland, New Jersey, and it was nearby the local police station, the North Wyland Police. And one day I was about 7 years old. This is like 1977. I was riding my bike and I fell, and these two officers were driving by and they saw me, fall, and they got out and helped me up. And the car door was open and I could, see inside the car and I could hear the radio talking, and they let me take a peek at it and, make sure I was okay. And like, honest to God, I got bit by the bug right then.
Wow. I love a good story behind the story. And you saw how even in that moment, their profession, their heart, their dedication to serve, it touched you in that moment and it was a lasting impact. And I know that says a lot about you because it resonated. And here you are today doing the same thing. But this has got to be tough when you're honing in and you're helping families through situations with feeling homicide. Tell me a little bit about the show itself and what should we brace ourselves for this season?
Well, the show I've been describing it as it's very authentic, it's raw, it's gritty, it's unfiltered. When the detectives and the prosecutors and the friends and family of the victims, when they're sitting there talking, being interviewed, nobody's telling them what to say. They're speaking from the heart, they're speaking from experience, they're saying what they feel. And the show is really going to show, what I wanted to do. Two things that I wanted to do is I wanted to show how hard the detectives work to bring justice for the victim.
Yeah.
Not every case is solved very easily. Just about, all the cases that we're profiling in season 1 are what you would call a whodunit. Somebody unfortunately was killed and the offender was unknown. And I wanted to show how these detectives, at times it becomes personal for them, how, one of the detectives says, this young woman was killed. Hey, nobody wanted this guy captured more than me. I have 2 daughters, and just to show, how much of themselves they put into it and, and how hard it is at times to actually get justice. And also, at times, friends and family of the victims get to talk about, their loved one. And, I wanted to give them an opportunity to do that. And, because at times people want a platform where they can talk about, how much they loved that person and, how good a person they were. They want to be able to say that to a large audience. And, obviously the whole show is about, justice for the victims while at the same time, showing a lot of respect for the victims and their family. But it's a solid show. I think it's going to be well received.
And I love the fact that you brought up the perspective of the actual detectives. We hear about the victims and the families and their stories, and we are watching it and watching them relive those situations. But I can only imagine how tough it is for a deputy to be on the scene or an investigator to say, you know what, we really want a lead on this because we want to bring the justice to the family. And you can't unsee the situations that you walk into. And
That's true.
oftentimes, when you get there, that becomes something that you can't just turn on and you can't just turn it off. And I know that nothing would do your heart better than saying, we found out who did this and we can take them off the streets.
Yeah, everything you said was spot on. You can't unsee certain things. You can't forget certain things. You can't even unsee, before I retired, when I would have a case, you can't unsee the pain in someone's eye, and, when you can bring a case to resolution and bring justice to somebody, or to a family, that's a good thing. You wish it never happened. But, when it does happen, you want to at least be able to, whoever's responsible to make them, answer for it and stop them from doing it again.
Absolutely. And hopefully, while viewers are watching this, they get other messages that's underlined. Like if you know something, say something. Here in Louisiana, we're often known for being the best of the worst, especially when it comes down to crime. You don't want to see the hurt in those families' eyes. You don't want that broken circle to just keep repeating itself, and it happens closer and closer to home every single time. And doing my job, it gets harder for me to report the news because it's at the point I either know who did it or who it happened to, and that is just hard. So when we're watching this, I encourage families to see that if you can help bring justice to these families by just saying something, let that be the message, and thank you so much for the hard work and dedication that you all are bringing to this. And if you ever make it to Louisiana, think of this as an extension of your office. Pull up on me, flashing lights and all.
We'll absolutely do that. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we look forward to seeing Philly Homicide premiering October 26th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Oxygen True Crime. They got it right with this one. Lieutenant McMullin, I know you have more work to do, so I'm going to let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you, Tammy. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Good morning, sunshine. How are you?
Wow. Thank you for having me.
Listen, I just need to know, is this the queen of all things? With the new culinary travel series that I am living vicariously through, Nadia Caterina Muno.
Hi, yes. I mean, I don't know if you can define me as the queen of all things, but definitely of pasta.
Absolutely. And you know what? All things are better with pasta. So technically, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you can resolve any conflict, you can make anybody fall in love with you, and repair any relationship and close any business deal over pasta.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm grateful that you took time out of your schedule to join us today in the hot seat and on the tan line, because as the pasta queen, I got a lot of questions that need answers. And you just started it off so well that pasta can heal any situation. How did you know that your love for pasta would be so infectious for the rest of the world?
I think it's because I am so obsessed, like anything that you really truly love and believe in, I feel people can tell. They're getting, it's like it's an infectious energy that you spread when you really love something or someone. Have you noticed that? Like when
Yeah,
you fall
that's
in love
true.
with someone, your friends now love that person too.
I love that.
They're like,
And you
why
are
am I
taking this
obsessed
love
with this
across the
person?
world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Tell us a little bit
and I
about your
feel,
journey. You
yeah.
started cooking and experimenting with this as a hobby, and then did it turn into a passion, or did you always know that you wanted to take this next level?
Well, this is definitely my family's legacy. So it was like a big deal for me because I come from a long line of pasta makers all the way back to the 1800s.
Wow.
So for me, making pasta is almost like continuing the family's legacy. And so even more passion. Not only I love it, but it's also like I'm making my family and bringing my family into the future,
Yeah,
on social media in a very modern way.
absolutely. And you're also inviting us in as a new family member because, once you feed us, you keep us, right?
Absolutely. It's really true. It's really true.
So many of the stories are told around the dinner table throughout your journey. What has been one of the most pivotal moments where you knew that you were on the right track, taking this next level, even leading you to this new series where you're taking us around the world?
So I remember it was, 2021, I got a book deal. And in 2022, it was released. And I have to be honest, I had like probably 1/4 of the amount of followers that I have today.
Yeah,
And I wasn't sure it was gonna be as popular.
right.
And I remember becoming an instant New York Times bestseller and international bestseller in the same week.
Wow.
And that
Wow.
point, it was November 2022. I've been working a lot. The pandemic was going on. I had no idea if this community I built even existed because we couldn't meet. There was no gatherings. I had no idea. So I go on tour. Not only there's thousands of people showing up at the meet and greets, but my book becomes an instant New York Times bestseller, Wall Street Journal
Wow.
bestseller, and then eventually an international bestseller. That's when I knew, oh my God, like this is impactful.
It is. That is amazing. And it's just, even in that testimony in itself, letting people know that even if you're scared, do it anyway. They technically put you in a
Yes.
pressure cooker.
Oh yeah, so I thrive in pressure cooking environments.
Okay.
I love it. I
Yeah.
think I'm an adrenaline junkie. like I'm like, oh, I love pressure. I love risking. I love the sensation. I turn the fear into excitement pretty much on a daily basis.
Right. Have you ever come across any of those favorite spices? You travel all around the world, and every little spice is different to its own little niche of the world. So we got to get you to New Orleans, sometimes really, really, really,
Oh, I
really
need
soon.
to.
We
Please.
got to get you here. But what are some of the
Oh my goodness.
spices that you would recommend that we try to go along with some of your favorite pasta dishes or
Okay,
things
so
that you feel will show us next level?
there's one that tops it all, Tan,
What?
and it is the Calabrian chili peppers. They are
Really?
immersed in oil. So the oil kind of like extracts all the chili peppers. Now, the Calabrian chili peppers have a flavor that is unparalleled.
Hmm.
And you can find it all over North America. On Amazon. It'll be on my Amazon storefront as well with my cookbook that's coming
Yes.
with the show. Calabrian chili pepper paste oil is it's got like 6 different flavors into one.
Oh, wow. Wow. That
Yeah,
sounds
it's
great.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, you know what? And tell me a little bit about this cookbook now, because I'm fumbling through these pages. I'm trying to be on every single tier of whatever it is you have going on, from cookbooks to the new shows.
So the cookbook is called The Art of Italian Cooking, is on Amazon right now. It mirrors everything we did on the TV show. So every recipe on the show will be written, and it is written with the exact measurements and everything in the cookbook. So it really is a cookbook that goes with the TV show. And it's called The
Nice.
Art of Italian Cooking, and it's available in the storefront, and the entire show has its own storefront with the cookbook and every ingredient, as much as we possibly can, an accessory used in each episode. So
You
it's
know
kind
what?
of intense.
You have started my day off on the right note. I am excited. Thursday, October 24th, to premiere Prime Video. Only up, 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 even higher from here. Now, the only thing that's going to make my heart smile even more is when we get you here and you show me how to
Yeah.
make these dishes and get my life together. Because if you say you can seal a deal with these meals, show
Oh
me the
yeah.
way.
But
Oh, show
I've
me the
done it.
way.
I have done it so many times.
I believe it. And this deal is sealed. Thursday, October 24th, Prime Video. None other than the pasta queen herself. I know you got more of those pots to rattle, more work to do. So I'm going to let you chase the
Thank you.
sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Exactly. Well, thank you. I love you back.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Ciao.